Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Also, if you are new, welcome. Today's video is jam-packed full of literally everything you need to get you motivated to tackle whatever is on your to-do list. We literally have deep cleaning, we have decluttering, we have organizing. Literally, like I said, anything that is on your to-do list, this video is here to motivate you and get you up and ready to go. If you have never heard of a cleaning marathon, this is a compilation video of some of the best cleaning motivation out there. So get your supplies, get your to-do list, put this on your TV because this is over 2 hours of the most intense ultimate cleaning motivation you are going to see on the internet to date. So if you're ready to get started, let's do this. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Also, if you are new, welcome. So today we are getting some early spring cleaning done. Now, if you are new here, you may not know this, but I am a firm believer that spring cleaning should be done all year round to help maintain a clean home and your sanity. But today we're going to go over some different things we can do to start thinking about spring cleaning. Depending on what part of the country you're in, it may very much vary. I am in Florida, so the weather here is like perfect for spring cleaning. It's not too hot. It's not cold, obviously. But I remember even when I lived in Wisconsin, this time of year, I was so ready just for some fresh air and just to spring clean that I would spring clean in February, open my windows, didn't matter if there was snow outside. I needed just like an hour to let the house air out and start feeling fresh and clean again. So today we're going to go through a bunch of different stuff to get you guys motivated, if it's spring cleaning or regular cleaning motivation, busy mom life motivation, all the things. Because you know, here on my channel, we share the real life mess, and being a busy mom of 3 with animals and everything, like there's always stuff to get done. So I am going into, this is Bjorn's room. So our house does have irrigation, and it's well water that waters our grass. So as long as the sprinklers are working correctly, they don't hit the house. Bobby set that up. However, he recently tweaked them and they sprayed all over these windows. And as you can see, they got the hard water on them and everything. So I recently found out this trick, and oh my goodness, if you have hard water, try this. Best thing ever. Now, they did not use the Zep toilet bowl cleaner. They used something else, but I love the Zep toilet bowl cleaner. Actually, that was a recommendation from one of you guys. It on hard water came off like butter. There was no scrubbing. I just used my Scrub Daddy to put it on, and then I wiped it down and then did a traditional just like cleaning of the windows. Best little hack ever. It made cleaning off these hard water spots so easy, and when it comes to our well water, it can be really, really difficult to clean.
Somehow you make me change, like I'm better off with you. Like I'm better off with you. Kinda used to these battlegrounds where you flee, you don't stick around.
So as you can see, when it comes to this, I'm using the Zep, and like I said, my Scrub Mommy brush. But then I am going in with I think I had like 3 different microfiber cloths, because I had one to wipe the Zep off, and then I had another one to actually go in and help me clean the windows, because I obviously didn't want to leave any residue left on here. So that is why you see like multiple different cleaning things over there. Is I knew whatever I used to wipe the Zep off, I was going to have to use something else to actually polish and clean the windows.
Hoping you wouldn't change me. Got the same old thoughts, be my referee. I will be alright.
Here you can see the massive difference. And like I said, this didn't take long at all. It was really simple to do. But I did notice once I was done that the screens were dirty. And I hate taking off screens off windows to clean. They're a pain to get off and they're a pain to get on. Now, there are some windows in my house, like my front windows, that I don't have a choice. I have to take them off. But I wanted to try something new. So I went and got a bowl of dish soap and hot water, and I cleaned the screens with with my mop socks because that's what I grabbed. And then I used our steamer to not only rinse the soap off, but I also sprayed it all out. If you guys have a steamer, you know they're super powerful. So if there's anything on the screen, it just like blasted it away. Best little trick that I have found, if you guys have not tried this and you hate cleaning your screens because you hate taking them on and off, because that's the only reason I hate cleaning my screens, is I hate having to take them down, put them up, all the things. This worked so well. It was so easy. And I feel like most people nowadays have a steamer. If you don't, and you have like a leaf blower or something like that, I think it would do the same thing where you could go in and wipe them down with some sort of microfiber cloth, sponge, whatever, and then like spray out all the soap and water and everything. But on to the next window in his room. This one wasn't as bad, but as you can see, it still needed to get cleaned. Now, I know I have mentioned this before, but especially with us going into spring cleaning, I feel like this is the best time to talk about this. Now, I am not cleaning every single window in my house today. I'm working on Bjorn's room, and then I will be working on the family room windows, but that is it. I think it is so important, and this is if you are a stay-at-home mom, if you're a working mom, if you're just a little bit older and need to get things done a little bit slower, if you have medical issues, children, no children, like literally it doesn't matter who you are. I feel like mentally you get so much relief when you break up tasks. So instead of spring cleaning your whole house in the matter of March, break it down into smaller bite-sized pieces. I like to go around my house, and when I see a task that needs to get done, I either write it down or make a mental note of it, and it goes on the rotation. That way I'm constantly keeping up with the house, but I'm never dreading this huge task of I gotta deep clean my bedroom, floor to ceiling, every little thing in it, because when you do that, the rest of your house goes to trash, at least in my house. Like if I spend all day working my family room, that means I have no time to work on the rest of the house. So the rest of the house is in shambles, and now I have to play the catch-up game. By breaking it down like this, that never happens. It allows me to get these little projects done while still maintaining the rest of my home.
I'm not a poster, it's only a wall. I'm a human after all, and I'm tired of being emotional. I've got news for you. You can rip my feathers out. Sun winds over clouds.
I am also just a huge fan of natural light. So when I can get my windows clean, I always feel so good just to have them fresh. You can see right through them. You can see here, though, with cleaning the screen, massive, massive difference. Now I'm just doing a quick tidy up. I did open up the windows to let some fresh air in. Like I said before, I used to live in Wisconsin. I now live in Florida. And it's funny because this time of year is like, I keep telling Bobby, I'm like, I don't care if it's 50 outside or 60 outside. I'm opening the windows and letting in the fresh air, because in just a couple months, it's going to be way too hot to let the fresh air in. Where I know up north, it's complete like opposite. Like winter, you have your house completely shut. And then come spring, summer, fall is when you start opening things up. So it has been a little bit chillier here the past couple days, but my windows are still open. Now, these are the outside windows that I said I was going to be getting done also in the family room. I'm going in with my mop to clean them because they're a little bit taller. So instead of having to get a ladder or whatnot, I use one to scrub and then one to polish. So that's why I had two of these. The reason I have to come outside, though, to clean these and take the screens off are these don't open like the other windows in my house. So the only way to clean them is like this. Now, if you can see, the center window, the seal is broken. So that one is just not going to look the greatest. I do have an appointment with our window people to come out and fix that because these windows are less than a year old. And that has been driving me absolutely crazy, especially since it's like the front window of the house. But luckily they're coming out. Obviously everything's still under warranty, so trying to get all of that done. But on top of cleaning the windows, I also really wanted to clean the window sills. And this is the easiest time when the screens are out. So I'm just moving the couch, that way it's not in my way. And I'm gonna use the steamer to blast these windows clean.
Kisses, no more shout-outs, no. You're gone now. Will you call me back? Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. You're the traveling kind. It's a known fact. Yeah, I know that. Once you've seen all the things, all the places, I hope it means that you'll come home to me once you travel the world.
So I often get questions about this steamer. So this is the Wagner steamer. I got this not too crazy long ago. My steam shot had died. My fault. I stored it away with water in it. Don't do that. So I needed a new one. And I saw this, and it was a really good price for what it is. And the tank for the water is a lot larger. It's a lot easier on my hands because if you guys have a steam shot, all that weight is in your hand. So I liked that this had a nice long cord. There are just a lot of really nice things about this one, which is why I ended up going with it and absolutely love it. I love steamers in general. Yes, one thing to keep in mind is they can be messy because they are like super powerful. So the stuff that it's spraying is going to go all over the place. But if you have some areas that are harder to get at and just not coming clean, these things are amazing. So a couple things I like about this Wagner is, like I said, it's got a larger water tank. So I can use this water tank pretty much all day and it does not run out on me, which is really nice because if you guys know, if you run out of water, then you have to wait for the whole thing to completely cool down before you can refill it and let it reheat up. So knowing that it has a big water tank is huge. I also said it's lighter on my hands. I really like that. But then also the pieces, like this has it, so if you have wallpaper you need to take down, that it's got some attachment for that. It's got the scrubbers. It's actually got a mop attachment so you can steam your floors. Literally anything you need to do with a steamer, this has the attachment for it. So that is why I really like this Wagner. Like I said, I know I've gotten tons of questions about it. A lot of people asking for the link and stuff. So I wanted to kind of go over those features for you guys.
You know that you're the traveling kind. It's a known fact. Yeah, I know that. I hope I'll be your destination. I hope I'll be your life-changing sensation.
And then once I was done with the windows, I just came back outside to clean off these screens. I'm just spraying them down with water. Didn't need to get too fancy with it. They weren't horrible. And there are some days that, yeah, getting in there with some Dawn dish soap and a scrub brush and everything really is necessary. But I will say, if you stay on top of your screens, it usually isn't something that's necessary. That is like if the screens haven't been touched in years and they really have a big pollen, dust, and any just natural matter buildup on it, that you're going to want to get in with that stuff. If you stay on top of them, just a quick spray down is usually all it takes.
And my heart's beating fast when it's looking like that. Oh, his smile is killing me. It's the way that it moves and the way that it laughs, so I can't get enough. Think about him all the time. I can get him off my mind.
Another thing to keep in mind when you're cleaning, and I feel like a lot of people have lost touch on this, because when it comes to YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, and I'm not going to lie, it is kind of satisfying to see all the suds and bubbles and things like that when people are cleaning. But less is more when it comes to cleaning. If you use too much product, often you are hurting yourself, because it's going to actually attract more dust if you can't fully rinse it and whatnot. So I highly recommend keeping in mind when watching some other YouTubers or other TikTokers that if it looks overly sudsy and overly bubbly and like they've used a lot of product, it's probably just for the video and not the way you should be doing it. Less is more. That's when it comes to pretty much anything cleaning wise in your house, especially if you are talking about floors. So rugs and even your hardwoods or laminates. Definitely stick to what the manufacturers say when it comes to your shampooers and how much different cleaner to use on your floor, because that will build up over time if you're not fully extracting it. So just something to keep in mind is sometimes the sudsy bubbly you see is really fun to watch, but not something you should be doing in your home for spring cleaning. All right, though, back into the bedroom, though. I needed to clean this fan. This fan is always so dirty. I talk about this on a regular basis, and here you can see it is nasty. So I'm going in with my Swiffer duster first and getting as much of the bigger clumps and stuff off before going in with a microfiber cloth and my multi-purpose spray cleaner. So normally, though, I do this with a pillowcase because it catches all the dust and everything. And you are going to see in a second on my bed why I do that. Now, on this day, I didn't worry about it because I knew I was going to take my mattress protector off and wash it as well. So it really just didn't bother me that I was going to be falling off onto my bed. But like I said, wait till you see the bed when I am all done here, because it'll make you think twice about how you dust your ceiling fans. I highly, highly recommend using an old pillowcase because it works so well. And then it's not just all of this right here. Though that's literally all just dust from my ceiling fan. And like I said, I knew this mattress protector was going to be going into my washing machine right after this, so it didn't really bother me. I still vacuumed up the big chunks because I didn't want that to go into the washing machine. But normally, I would never have all of that coming down onto the bed.
It takes time. One more flight, one more sunset and dawn. Yes, it takes time. And we dance to the downfall. Happy highs, happy running low. Yes, we dance to the downfall. Struggle.
So another area to keep in mind when spring cleaning are your baseboards. I highly recommend first going in with a vacuum to really dust them and clean them off. If you just go in with a wet rag, you're just kind of moving the dirt around, especially if you have animals and the hair is everywhere. You'll notice that wet microfiber cloths have a really hard time actually picking it up. So I'm going around just with my vacuum and the brush attachment and dusting everything first. And then on to the walls. So I am using my wall cleaner. This is the Zep wall cleaner. Love this stuff. And then I am using the mopping bucket that I have as well. This, oh, now I can't remember what brand this is. I saw this mop on TikTok, fell in love with it, ordered it, and I love this thing. You guys saw me use it on my windows. I use it on my floors and my walls. I like the shape of it and the way it actually cleans the mop head before putting it back onto either your walls or your floors or whatever area you're using them with. I still have my O-Cedar though, because I did learn that our sunroom / dog room that has a more textured tile, this does not work as well because it is just a flat mop. It doesn't get into those crevices as well. So I did keep my O-Cedar mop for that reason. I told you guys when I got this thing, I was going to give you guys an honest review after weeks of using it. And as you can see, I still love it, but is something to keep in mind. For me, it doesn't bother me because it's just my dog room / sunroom. But if I had like a lot of my main floor being a more textured tile, I would not buy this mop.
Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? Forever. Forever. Forever.
Now, a lot of people may be wondering why wash your walls, and there's lots of different reasons to wash your walls. For me, with kids, they run their feet, their hands, literally everything all over the walls. And if you have kids, you know this. They will lay on their back and put their dirty feet all over the walls. They will get done eating and then just smear it on the walls. But also, I have animals. My Saint Bernard especially, like he'll go outside and be laying in the dirt and the grass, and then come inside and he doesn't even think if he's rubbing his side against the wall or if he slobbers and then shakes and that ends up on the wall. But even if you live alone, great thing about washing your walls, one, it's going to be a lot easier if you live alone. You're not going to have the amount of cleaning as if you had pets and kids. But one, you're still going to have dust build up, especially if you have textured walls. But two, it just smells so good when you clean your walls. Now, one thing I want you to keep in mind of possibly doing this spring cleaning is touching up your baseboards, even if it's just the very top of them. I feel like baseboards can make the biggest difference. On this day, I was just going in and doing the tops of the baseboards. So I wasn't worrying about being too nitpicky of the line because I wanted to go back in with the actual wall color on a different day to sharpen it up. But there are just times that you can clean these baseboards over and over and over again and they just don't look great anymore. So I always keep trim paint on hand. That way, if need be, I can go in and just do a quick touch up. This took me maybe 5 minutes to go around pretty much all the trim in my bedroom. I say pretty much because I did not move furniture to do this, but oh my goodness, made a huge difference of the way everything looked. So something to keep in mind, maybe this spring cleaning to add to your list of just touching up different trim in your house. As you can see, this is a different day and we are moving on to the kitchen.
Just like the movies, I was gonna say in the fight with you, just thinking we would do this until we couldn't do it. Each and every high, every night with you, you and me so clueless. We were just broken, shattered, singing along to nothing matters. Stray around like nighttime rumors. We were in too deep in your worn-out sweaters, thinking we'll be young forever, driving in your
So unfortunately at this time, my bottle for making my Dawn Power Wash was like empty and I did not have any rubbing alcohol. So I pulled out my Mrs. Meyer's dish soap and used it that way. Obviously still works fine. And I do love my Mrs. Meyer's. It smells so good. Yes, Dawn works really, really well and I love it. But there are times that I really like just having the different scents that do come with Mrs. Meyer's. Now, I know I mentioned this a lot on my channel, but it's because I get questions every single week about my multi-purpose spray. Every single week, someone's asking me what I use, so I like to bring it up for you guys. So, multi-purpose spray in my house is either Pine Sol or Thieves Cleaner. I love both of those. I always have them in the house and I just kind of go back and forth between the two of them. So yes, and I highly recommend a really, really good multi-purpose cleaner. Like, it's nice to have different cleaners for different things, but if you're just looking to do a quick speed clean, get everything done, or you just don't have a lot of time or want to clean, having a good multi-purpose cleaner is so very, very important. It changes the entire game of cleaning when you can grab one spray bottle and a couple microfiber cloths and pretty much clean your entire home. I do love, though, the look of a freshly cleaned sink. Little tip, if you are cleaning your sink and it just isn't as shiny as you would like or something like that, is polish dry it with a window cleaning cloth. Makes like all the difference in the world. And then you can actually go in with your stainless steel cleaner and polish it with that as well. I will sometimes do that and sometimes I won't because I'm constantly using my sink, either washing hands or dishes ending up in it or whatever. So I don't really worry about every time I clean out my sink, making sure it is polished dry and whatnot. But I do think it is very important to clean your sink at least once a day. Typically, I do it twice a day. Typically, I'll do it in the morning after like breakfast, after I do a really big cleaning, and then again after dinner.
got a brand new one since you got lost in November. See it in your eyes when we leave for the night. Way too many heartbreaks still on your mind. Let the flame burn down for a while. Let the flame blur out for a while. Stay in the moment. Stay in the moment with me. Give you a moment. Give you a moment with me. Smell all the roses.
So it's crazy tonight, as I'm doing this voiceover, Xander and Bobby are actually at the middle school doing like middle school. It's like a little presentation and get to see his campus for next year, which is just having me kind of freaking out that I'm going to have a child in middle school next year. I don't know how that's possible. I feel like I just had him, and it's insane. The idea that he's going to be in middle school next year is crazy. I told him, though, he's going to get spoiled because the middle school, I don't think even starts till like 9 a.m., and for us, it's within walking distance. He could walk there in about 10, 15 minutes fairly easily. But yeah, that is what he's doing tonight. So hopefully he likes the campus and everything. Bobby and I were both going to go, but it was between 5:30 and 6:30, which is literally prime time of cooking dinner. And then we'd have to take all 3 kids. And it just seemed like a lot, so I let Bobby take them. And I'm sure he can come back and tell me whatever I need to know. Oh, now moving on to the floors, though, after my little chat about Xander, I always tell you guys, but if you have not invested in one of these vacuum mops, I 1,025% recommend one of these vacuum mops. I have tried many. I've tried the Bissell, I've tried the Hoovers, I've tried the Roborocks, I've tried the, I'm losing train of thought of what all the ones I've tried. And for the most part, they have all worked really, really well. There was only one I did not like. I believe it was, I don't even remember. But it was like when these first came out and were a thing. I bought one of the very first models, and I didn't love it at all. It actually just kind of seemed like a pain. But now that they've been out for a couple years, I feel like all the companies have really learned and evolved. And these are, I think, one of the most important cleaning gadgets to have in your house if you have kids or pets. All right, so how many of you guys are football fans? Curious who's going to be watching the Super Bowl. I am a pretty big football fan. I really enjoy watching football on Sundays and whatnot. But I'll be honest, I'm not super thrilled with either of the teams that are in the Super Bowl this year. I was really hoping for some underdogs, and I am not a Lions fan. I am a Green Bay Packers fan. So you guys, I'm sure, can tell by saying that I was rooting for the Lions after the Packers lost is saying a lot. But I so badly wanted that underdog story of the Lions getting there. They've never been to the Super Bowl. I'm actually pretty sure they've never gotten as far even into the playoffs as they did this year. And I was really, really bummed. But it looks like we're going to still have a good halftime game. So definitely going to be watching that. I really don't care who wins. I think the only thing I'm excited about is watching Travis Kelce's brother, because I loved Kelce's brother. I think he is like so authentic and cute and fun to watch. I listen to their podcast sometimes and love that. But that's about it. Halftime show and watching Travis Kelce's brother playing. So, not playing, but there rooting on his brother. I'm excited about that. As you can see, I am out into, this is our sunroom / dog room. So this is where this is where the animals eat. This is where all the animal food is. You might be wondering what these giant bags are. These are bags of worms. Yes, I said worms, but they're like freeze-dried or something. They're mealworms, and my birds absolutely love them, so I buy them in these giant bags. The ducks, if I let them, would eat an entire bag in a day, which I'm not going to let them because they're not that cheap to just let them eat that much. But I wanted to put them in this little container. That was a little bit easier to get at. But unfortunately, I realized that my new bag was not sealable like my old bag. So I wanted to flip everything over into the old bag. That way I could reseal and not have these spilling all over the place.
Cause you'll never change, you'll always stay the same. Go on and tell all your friends all about me. I don't give up, nothing sticks to me, baby. Yes, hon, I'm Teflon, I don't give it up. So go ahead and tell them I'm a little bit too much for you. Maybe you're not man enough. Cause I speak my mind, yeah, I spit it out. I don't care about if you think that I'm a little bit too much for you.
I still absolutely love this sofa. If you follow us on our family vlog channel, you would know Bailey loves it as well. Mainly this chaise lounge area is his favorite spot to sleep on. But I do like to go out here and give this a really good cleaning pretty much daily just to help with any odor. This Chom Chom though, this is the best thing ever. As you can see, it's completely empty. And this makes going in real quick just to get all the hair and stuff off of it a breeze.
Spit it out. I don't care about if you think that I'm a little bit too much for you. Maybe you're not man enough. Cause I speak my mind, yeah, I spit it out. I don't care about if you think that I'm a little bit too much.
I always love opening this just to see how much it picked up. That might be one of the best parts about using one of these is you just really see how insane it is. And like I said, I do this pretty much every single day. But then I'm just pretty much spot cleaning the sofa with my multi-purpose spray. This spray bottle is just Pine Sol. I just have it in this one just because there's really no reason. These cushions, though, actually completely unzip. I can throw them in the washer and dryer. And I do that fairly regularly, meaning like once a month. But in between that time, I like to come in and just wipe everything down. Once again, Bailey is a St. Bernard. If you know anything about St. Bernards, they can be very drooly and whatnot. So being able to wipe this down, he's not horribly drooly, like not, what's the dog? I can't think of it. But the other like famous dog movie, he's not like that. Beethoven. But if he is eating or anxious or sleeping, those are when he's more apt to start drooling. So usually when he is sleeping and his tongue's just hanging out there, then he's a little bit more drooly and we get those little spots on the sofa. So going in and getting the spot cleaning done really does help. I have still been loving this tile in this room. I like that it doesn't look dirty as often as the old ones. I love it. I am still like so shocked that we found this under that cheaper white marble. I don't even know what type of tile that was. It was like, I don't want to say linoleum. I don't know. But I was very, very thrilled that we found this real tile under here. It is just, I think, absolutely beautiful. And like I said, with this being right by the pool and everything, it just stays looking so much cleaner. And it's not slippery when wet. And that, to me, was huge. The old tile was so slick when it got wet, which you can only imagine. Kids outside swimming and whatnot, being hyper and crazy, and then running inside and busting it by being dripping wet onto this tile that was like super, super slick. Very happy that this is not slick at all. This is also the tile I was talking about earlier where I like my Old Cedar. It just works where the other one with the texture, it's fine for like skimming the top, but actually like getting in there and cleaning the tile, the O-Cedar by far wins out when it comes to textured tile. But I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope it gave you guys some motivation. Let me know when you guys normally start spring cleaning. Are you like me where you do it year round just to stay on top of it and stay on top of your mental health? Or are you guys already thinking about spring coming up? But I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Long time gone, turning heads left, right. So damn done, taking this back bite.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Also, if you are new, welcome. My name is Cambriea. In today's video, we are focusing on organization. If you've been following me, we have gone through tips on how to keep your house clean. We have gone on tips of how to declutter, and now we are going to talk about organization. So in today's video, we have some typical cleaning going on, but what I really want to focus on is giving you guys some motivation to get some organizing done, some inspiration and ideas of great organization, tools that you can use, as well as just some easy tips and tricks that I think will make it a lot easier as we go. Now, when I organize, I do like to start in at least somewhat a clean space. So in my kitchen, I just wanted to quickly tidy everything up before going and really getting into the organization.
I got it mapped up, making the cut. Oh, before long, you're gonna rue this day. You're gonna hear yourself say, all I need to know is wait for all systems go. I'm not letting anyone break it down. I keep it in my control. Put a pin in my map for anywhere else.
All right, so we are starting off in the pantry, and it was a bit ago, and I don't even remember where I heard this, but someone said you should organize a space the same amount of times that you go in it per day. Now, that really did motivate me, but I also want to make this more realistic because I have young children, and people probably go into our pantry more times a day than there are in months, days and months. So I am not organizing my pantry every single day of the month. However, it did just kind of like I used to maybe do it once every couple of months or something like that. Now I really try to do this minimally once a month, that I go in here, pull everything out, wipe it down, declutter the stuff that I'm either not using, is expired, anything like that. So that is something that I think a lot of us can take into consideration. I think often we organize a space and we just are like, okay, we organized it, we're done. And that is something that like is definitely not a thing. Organization, one, you rarely get it right the first time. And two, it's something you have to maintain, just like maintaining a clean house, decluttering. Organization is exactly the same way. And it's not a one and done thing. We have to stay on top of it. But the great thing is if you stay on top of it, a project that the first time may have taken you a couple of hours should only take you 15 or so minutes the next time, as long as you are staying on top of it. I think this pantry literally only took me about 15 minutes to quickly go through it, organize it out, and put it all back together.
And I'm not gonna waste my time. Can't believe that I was so blind. All I want is to press rewind, but I'm gonna be just fine. Honestly, I don't care what you think about me breaking free from everything we were. And it's all because of you. Did you think I'd put
Now, one thing I really like taking advantage of when I am in a pantry is vertical space. So I love these Lazy Susans. They are perfect to put the condiments on, some of my canned foods on, and things like that. That way I can see everything and it's not just getting buried in there. I also love these. They're actually for like soda cans, but I use my cream soups in there because I keep a lot of that on hand to keep it nice and easy. But even you can see I used my ramen in it. There's a lot of different options. A lot of times when you're organizing, you need to think outside of the box because something may say it's for cereal, but you could use it for your rice. Or something may be for soda, but you can use it for your cans of soup or vegetables and things like that. There's a lot of different things you can do if you just think a little bit more out of the box. I like using wicker baskets, as you could see, for like my pasta and rice and things like that, and just kind of changing things up. I don't have a huge pantry, which in some ways is a blessing because I don't hoard so much food, which means food doesn't go to waste nearly as often. But it also means you have to be a little bit more strategic about your organization.
And it's all because of you. Did you think I'd forget it, all because of you? It'll be clearer in a second, all because of you. All because of you. And it's all because of you. Did you think I'd forget it, all because of you.
Now just doing a quick cleanup of the microwave. It wasn't too bad, but I wanted to quickly get it cleaned out. So I just put a microwave safe bowl with some water in there for 5 minutes. That way it steams, makes it really easy to clean out. And then I will clean out the outside and the tray and stuff while that works. But I feel like if you ever had a smaller space to organize, you actually get much better at it because you have to get clever with it. You have to change things up. I know in Bobby and my first house, we had a very small kitchen. I think we had about 3 drawers. 3 or 4 drawers. Cabinet space was half the cabinet space we have now, and no pantry. So figuring out where food went, where dishes went, you didn't have all the knickknacks and things like that. Like you naturally had to be more minimal to make everything fit. And I used to actually take some of my canned goods and pastas and things like that, and our stairwell to our basement had a small little ledge going down, and I would actually use that ledge as like pantry space in our kitchen. And I think working in a smaller area really does teach you how to be a little bit more practical and think outside of the box when needed.
Making me confused, you must really mess me up. You got yourself someone new who's not for you. You're not worth it, but I can help myself again to keep thinking of you. You love me, no forgiving, no forgetting, but I keep missing you.
So after I let the microwave steam, I then go in with some Dawn Power Wash just to really wipe it down good. And then I'll even go in with my Thieves Cleaner just to kind of polish it out. But for the most part, when you steam, that loosens it all up. But the Dawn does help because you're still going to have grease and stuff in there, so you need a good degreaser to really get it all clean.
You're not worth it, but I can help myself again and keep thinking of you.
All right, now moving on to the freezer. And all right, guys, be honest with me. When's the last time you emptied and cleaned your freezer? If you're anything like me, it's been a second. When it comes to my fridge, that is an area that I keep up with. I try to do a good clean out, wipe down every time we go grocery shopping. That way it just stays well maintained. But when it comes to my freezer, it's a lot more neglected. So today we are tackling that. I am emptying the ice. The great thing about this is I empty the ice, but it also works really well to use that ice to clean out my disposal. Plus, I know any new ice going in there is all fresh and I don't want to say clean because it's all clean, but you know what I mean. Nice, fresh ice, as well as going in and vacuuming out the freezer. That way, any of the crumbs and stuff. It's amazing how many crumbs get in there because you're like, how? It's just frozen food. But it happens, stuff falling out of the fridge or whatever it is, it gets in there. And as you can see in my freezer, I also have an area that something that obviously was put in here was leaking slightly and needed to get cleaned out. So just making sure that all the big chunks were taken out, and then I go in with my vacuum and vacuum that out before wiping it down.
Without you and me out there on my own, then I would fall into pieces, fall into pieces. I would fall into pieces, fall into pieces. I would fall into pieces, fall into pieces. So here we go again. With silly
Now, when it comes to cleaners, I use my Thieves cleaner, but you can also use a mixture of water with a little bit of bleach or vinegar and water, whatever it is that makes you feel the most comfortable. I like to use things that are a little less harsh when it's in a food environment, which is why I like using my Thieves cleaner or vinegar and water. Those are usually my two that I'll go to if it's my fridge or my freezer. But it always feels good to give it a really good wipe down and reorganize it. I noticed my freezer was just starting to get kind of crammed full of stuff and harder to keep track of what we had and what we didn't. So I'm kind of changing it up here. I decided on this top shelf, I wanted to make this all stuff that the kids grab for quick meals. So often when the boys get home from school, even though they've had lunch and breakfast and everything, they're usually hungry after school. So that means they'll make a corn dog, a frozen pizza, something like that. I like to have stuff on hand that is easy for them to make themselves. I don't know about you, but I'm often busy when they get home from school, figure out what we're making for dinner, still working on other stuff in the house. So having something that is easy for them to grab and go is a win for me. I know some people are going to be like, oh, I like to cut fresh fruit and vegetables and all that stuff. And that is great. But I also know there's people like me that we focus on healthy stuff when it comes to main meals, but also we like to have fun snacks and easy stuff for the kids. So that is what that top shelf is. We got some burritos, we got some pizza, we got some corn dogs, we got some fun stuff up there. And then I decided on this side is where I'm going to have all of our frozen vegetables. I always have a lot of frozen vegetables on hand because my kids love broccoli. Spinach is like the best vegetable to sneak into almost any meal. And meat goes on the left side. And I will say, so far, this has been working out really, really well. And then after I'm all done, I'm just quickly retidying up the kitchen. That way I could move on to other areas of the house.
Give it to you, this is done. Yeah, this is done alright. We are through on repeat. Can we put this to sleep? All we need to is walk out the door. I think that none of us did wrong, but why didn't we end this right? Can we put this to sleep?
Days like this is also days that I love having a robot vacuum that vacuums and mops because I was able to get all this organization done, do a quick wipe down of everything, and then I just scheduled my narwhal to come in here and finish the job while I moved on to more stuff. I know I mentioned a lot of my cleaning gadgets, and like I've said in the past, they're not necessities by any means, but my vacuum mop, so my cordless vacuum mop that I use, and my robot vacuum mop are things that I always tell people, if you can ask for Amazon gift cards for Christmas, for birthdays, and save up, they definitely do make life a lot easier when you are just trying to get a million other things done, and it would just be nice if something could take one thing off your to-do list. I actually got my very first Roomba right before Bobby got deployed. He actually got it for me for Mother's Day because he knew I was getting real stressed out about him being gone, us having 2 young children, and then me still having to work, take care of the house, and all of these things. And ever since then, I haven't been without a robot vacuum. But into our bathroom, we are giving this rug a really good cleaning. I don't use my carpet shampooer on this rug because it never gets it that well, and I think it's because of the texture of this rug. So I like to either take it into my shower, or on days like today where it's really nice out, come outside, give it a quick scrub, rinse, and let it dry in the sun. I am just doing this by hand today. I've used my scrub brush sometimes, but I don't know. I don't think I charged it. I think that's why I didn't grab it, is I went to grab it and then it wasn't charged. So reminder, plug in your cleaning tools, because otherwise you might be having to do it like this. Luckily, this is not that hard to do. It's not that big of a rug. And because I stay on top of it, it is fairly quick and easy to just quickly scrub down and then rinse off.
I found a message from my best friend hidden in your phone. It said she missed your touch. Why, thanks so much. I guess I should have known. Later on the freeway, suddenly my left front.
I've also just used my power washer in the past to clean this rug, and that works really well also. But it is definitely my favorite when it is nice enough outside that I can throw it over the fence to let it dry. I always feel like it just smells better. It dries better. And if you didn't know, the sun is actually a natural bleach. So if you have whites that don't seem so white, or like this, where I want this rug to just stay nice and bright, hanging it out on a line or over a fence or something, the sun actually works as a natural bleaching agent and helps with that. So that is what I'm doing today. I just rolled it up and wrung it out as much as possible, because when these things are wet, they may be small, but they are still heavy. And then just quickly throwing it over the fence. That way it could dry while I worked on the rest of the bathroom. You would have seen a couple videos back, I don't even remember how many videos back, that I got these different organizers from the Home Edit. This is the collection at Walmart that I got it from. I got one that said it was for silverware, one that said it was for bathroom, and then I think one that said it was for office. But like I said before, ignore labels on organization things, because often you can use things in multiple different areas. That's actually why I specifically got 3, because I wanted to see like what came in each one, what really worked well, and really play with that as I went through and organized out all my stuff. Now, luckily, I had done a good declutter of these areas, and I had organized them of like what I wanted in each drawer. So today was more of just a puzzle to figure out how I wanted it to sit in these drawers. And you may think, okay, why use organizers in a drawer? The biggest thing is when you're opening and shutting these drawers, things roll and slide all over the place. So being able to contain something in an organizer does truly make that drawer stay so much more functional. So like I said, a little bit of a puzzle here. You don't always get it right. And this is often stuff you don't see on social media, is the try one thing, then try the next thing, and maybe this didn't work. And for all I know, in a month from now, I may have to redo this because it's not quite working for me. But like I said before, organization is not one and done. This is definitely something that you learn, you maintain, and it evolves as you evolve. You're constantly going to be changing stuff or learning something new, and that's okay. Like I said, it gets easier as you go, so it's less overwhelming the next time you need to organize.
And sun is around. And that's when I saw that someone new not from around. You see, on holiday, I'm willing to stick around. He looks so hot, he looks so cool. Hope to see him in school. And now he walked up right to me, and my knees got weak and I just had to leave. It was weird, I'm so shy. You always make me blush so hard.
So the left side of this vanity is all my stuff. So up top, I kept my moisturizers, anything that is like for my nightly skincare routine or morning skincare. I want it in that top drawer. I don't wear makeup every day. There are some that I like to wear. I do have a tinted moisturizer that I use pretty much daily because it has an SPF and everything. But when it comes to makeup, it's not a everyday occurrence. So I put that in the second drawer. But these center drawers are kind of a mix between Bobby and I. So I wanted to just organize this out a little bit better. We've got a lot of teeth care stuff. So I decided to make this whole top drawer just stuff for our teeth. It didn't start out that way, but as I started actually realizing how much stuff we had, it quickly evolved into, okay, this is just for when we brush our teeth. Like I said, it's a learning curve. You got to play with it. Things are going to start one way and then change. And then as you add stuff, move stuff around, it's definitely a puzzle, but you can have fun with it with these different, trying to figure out what works best for you. This is also why I've said don't buy organizers until you declutter and do a basic organization, because it's really easy to overbuy organizers. And how many people, and I am raising my hand right now, so I am one of these people, have bought something to organize and then it didn't work in the space. You took too long to return it, so you ended up just having to donate it or get rid of it when the next time you decluttered because you bought it and didn't use it. Like I said, my hand's up right now. I have done this before where I have bought stuff before really figuring out a space and then never used it and basically wasted my money on it. So it's really good to declutter, do a partial organization, and then buy your organizers when you already kind of have an idea of what you need. I did see a really, really cool trick. Now, I don't live anywhere near a Container Store. It's all the way in Orlando. So on a good day, it's going to take me about an hour and 15 minutes. That's on a good day. But I saw someone that took parchment paper, cut the parchment paper to the size of their drawers, and then went to the Container Store to get containers that would exactly fit her drawers. Genius. If you're going shopping for something like that, I highly, highly recommend it because, yeah, absolutely genius, because you do a lot less of the puzzle that I'm doing here. I noticed Bobby's drawers were a lot dirtier, but I don't go in his drawers nearly as often, so mine I wipe down fairly regularly. His pretty much never. So I wanted to go in here and vacuum up any of his little beard hairs that were in there, wipe it down, and get it all clean and organize out his stuff.
Where's the fun in doing what you're told? But I don't mind even though I lose control. Oh, I just wanna have a good time, so call me whenever, 'cause a night like this, it never gets old. Oh no, we don't wanna do slow-mo, so tonight we're just
I will say, though, once I was done with Bobby's drawers, he was outside working when I was doing stuff like this. But when he came in, I made sure right away to like bring him in the bathroom and be like, okay, here's your stuff. I didn't move anything except your toothbrush, because he had kept his toothbrush in that other drawer. And I'm like, well, if I'm making the center top drawer all teeth stuff, it might as well have his toothbrush, my toothbrush, and everything together. But I made sure to show him because he does always, whenever I do any type of declutter or organization, he's always like, where did you put stuff? I can't find anything now. So that's actually why I don't normally touch his side, is I know even if I move it a little bit, he's going to be like, where's my stuff? But on this day, I really wanted to get in there and get it really cleaned. So I made sure to show him afterwards. Oh, also, these jeans, I am obsessed with them. It's another thing I found on the TikTok shop, which, yes, I know it's a horrible influence. However, I do love these. I hate wearing jeans, and the biggest reason is because of my C-sections. I've had two. Jeans are very uncomfortable when they rub on my C-section scar. So unless I like need to wear them, I hate wearing them. It hurts to sit in them or anything that rubs on that scar area. So these are the Halara. They're jeggings, I guess, but they look and feel like the material is jean material, but in legging form. I love them. They look really, really nice, but they don't hurt to wear. So if you guys have seen those and you've been wondering, my honest opinion, I absolutely love them. I don't feel bad cleaning in them or anything because they are super comfortable. But like I said, most importantly, they don't hurt because that is usually a thing for me. I'm also still really, really liking this mop I got. I do still have my O-Cedar. If you saw when we did the little like refresh in the dog room, the tile in there, because it's more textured, works better with the O-Cedar. However, in the rest of my house where it's fairly flat, this one works great. I point that out because I want when I'm like recommending stuff to people for them to like understand everything. So I love this mop, but I think if you have tile or any type of floor with a lot of grooves and texture to it, I would stick with your O-Cedar because I do believe that works better. But as you can see, I'm just in the family room doing a quick clean and tidy in here now.
Time, 'cause these days we're partners in crime, and I like it like that. We go all in, and I'm falling, but I like it like that. And it's so wrong, but still so strong, but I like it like that. Now we catch your fire, 'cause you take me higher. You know you're everything that I ever desire.
Now, the kids' bathroom isn't that bad. Actually, it looks like they have a lot more drawers than they actually do. 4 out of these 6 drawers are fake. They are just there to be there. It's actually only these 2 center drawers that are actual drawers. So I'm just going in here real quick, wiping them down. I'm sure you guys understand if you have kids, the drawers in your kids' bathroom get full of so much gunk. Usually it's toothpaste and things like that. So I wanted to really clean these out and then add in some of these organizers that I had left over from our bathroom and help organize out their stuff. I know Freya's got a lot of things for her hair, so being able to put it into one of these, the boys deodorant, and then the toothbrush and toothpastes, and then this other drawer is pretty much just to be left empty. We do have a couple things that go with different things in the bathroom, so I can't even remember what they are, but they're little pieces to go with other stuff. So I'm just wiping this out and keeping it empty. There's no reason for us to have anything in this drawer. And I think it's okay to have empty spaces. I feel like people feel like if a place is empty that they need to fill it, and you don't have to. If a place is empty and you don't need to use that space, don't. It's totally okay to have an empty space.
Looking for a way out into the sparkling light. I've been a lost balloon in the blue, and like Tom, free falling without a clue. I didn't know what to do until I first saw you, and now I never have to freeze under rainy clouds. No need to pour no gasoline into the fire now, for all love to burn.
So definitely let me know what areas in your house you need to organize. I feel like organizing is something that you can almost round robin in your house. Start in one area of your house and slowly go through the entire house. And by the time you get to the final spot, you could probably go back and start with number one. So it's definitely a never ending project to be able to stay on top of it and keep it working. So definitely let me know what you need to get organized today. Is it your pantry? Is it your silverware drawer, your junk drawer, your bathroom? Like I said, I know there's places all over the house. Closets, I actually need to do a little bit more organization in my closet as well. So that's probably going to be coming up really soon. But like I said, it's a never-ending project. It's one of those things of by the time you get back to where you started, it's time to start it all over again. So I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please subscribe if you're new. I would love to have you here. This is the best community here on YouTube and some of the best people to just lift you up and get you motivated. Leave a comment down below and introduce yourself. But also like, comment, and share this video. I greatly appreciate everyone who shares my videos every week. It means so much to me. But I'll see you next time. Bye.
Don't need no few. Do you ever feel you don't get out what you're putting in? All your hopes and efforts are all in vain.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Also, if you are new, welcome. This video is jam-packed full of cleaning motivation. So if you are looking to get some big projects done around your house or some small, this is guaranteed to get you guys up and going. I'm starting off in the bedroom. Fairly normal day, but I needed to strip the bed. But I'm also going to be doing a bunch of deep cleaning projects in today's video. My washing machine, I haven't done a good deep clean on that in a bit now, as well as the track in my sliding glass doors. A little bit all over this house of deep cleaning going on. So if you guys are in the need of some extreme cleaning motivation, this is the perfect video for you. Like I said though, starting off in the bedroom, I'm not really making the bed here. I just want to get the blankets back on it because I had some laundry I had to put away. So it's always nice to just have it looking nice until I get back in here with my clean sheets later on.
Oh, and if that someone makes you smile and leaves you with a star, don't let them tell you what you feel or who you are. Oh, there must be more. There must be another way. There must be conscious, different things in different ways. There must be love.
So it's funny watching this back now because I recently had a comment on my KonMari closet declutter video that I did like 5 years ago now. So obviously back at the old house. And seeing the amount of clothes I had then compared to now, like I had definitely a lot more. But I really appreciate how much I've decluttered over the years. It makes life so much easier. And realistically, if we're honest with ourselves, we probably wear only about 10% of our wardrobe. But yeah, looking at my closet now, it was kind of funny to see the huge difference. I'm quickly just tidying up the laundry room. The laundry room always becomes a drop zone. So if there's like tools that were left out, here there was like stuff from painting and doing stuff all around the house. It just kind of collects over the time. Now, if you remember a couple weeks ago now, I did a good thorough deep cleaning on our dryer. But like I said, I did not do the washing machine. So I wanted to make sure that I got in here today and really cleaned it out, especially because often around that ring, with it being a front loader, gets a lot of hair buildup and stuff just from having animals and the hair being on our clothing. So I wanted to get in there and get all of that done. Eventually, I'd like to do more to this laundry room. It honestly is never top of mind because we have made it very usable with adding these cabinets for storage. So it doesn't really bother me. Plus, it's not a main area in our house. And it's such an awkward layout that I'm trying to figure out what's best here. Because as you can see, we have the water heater here. Behind this curtain to the left in this corner, you can see it. That is our AC and heat unit. So yeah, but I'm quickly emptying the drain of the water. This is at the bottom of pretty much every washing machine, and cleaning out this filter. I know a lot of people don't even realize there is a filter down here, but this is where it catches all that dirt and grime. It's not horrendous, as you can see, because I do try and stay on top of it. But if you have never cleaned yours, be ready to be shocked. Just make sure when you do all this, you have a towel laying out, you have a some sort of container to catch the water, because there is a lot of water that likes to release when you do this part of the washing machine. And then after I was all done just quickly cleaning all of this out, I wanted to take out the laundry detergent compartment and just throw it in the sink with some bleach and let that clean out as well.
My ticket to paradise. Hey, now everything's alright. We've been longing for each other, and it feels like I'm on cloud nine. I don't wanna be without you. This is something that
So just went looking at cars the other day. I have 5 payments left on our lease currently. And I was like, okay, now's about the time to start looking into stuff and figuring out. Oh, by the way, I'm using the Zep wall cleaner to clean this out. Works great. Zep wall cleaner works on so many things other than your walls. If you have not tried it out, definitely try it out. It is well worth it. But like I was saying, so I have 5 payments left on my lease, and in the past, I've always just right around this time traded up into the same vehicle but newer year. It's one of the reasons I enjoy leasing. But oh my goodness, if you have not gone car shopping in a while, such shell shock for interest rates and everything. Now, mind you, I have really good credit. So I even just 3 years ago when we leased this car, it was what? I don't know, 1.9, 2.9, 3.9, something like that. And nowadays, like, you have excellent credit and you're still at 6% plus on interest rates. Plus the price of cars have gone up by so much that we actually ended up just buying out our lease. I love our minivan. And it's funny because I said I would never be a minivan mom, but here I am, and I absolutely love it. So no matter what, I was going to get another minivan, and I drive a Honda. They run forever. And to trade into the newer model, which will only be like 2 years newer because ours was a 2022 and we'd be going into a 2024, was going to be like $150 more a month. So ended up just buying out our lease, which I am totally okay with. I love our van, but yeah, I was very much shell-shocked and surprised by the crazy interest rates and the crazy price of new vehicles nowadays. Everything has gotten so out of control. But after I scrubbed out these containers, I just wanted to put it all back together and put it back in. And then I actually buy these washing machine tabs right on Amazon. I'm going to show you here. And then I just run it through a heavy-duty cleaning cycle, and it does it all the rest yourself. You can also use baking soda or vinegar or something like that. But these tabs, to me, just make it super easy and simple and easy to remember, because sometimes I just don't think about it. But with it being in this cabinet, it's real easy for me to see it and be like, oh, yeah, I should do that. Now, also because this laundry room, like I said, it's a not well used, well, it's a used area, but it's not something you think about deep cleaning on a regular basis. I wanted to get in here and do more of a deep cleaning on it. So this area had a bunch of dust and buildup. So I got in here first with the vacuum. Always, especially if you're dealing with something that's like really dusty, always vacuum it first. It's going to save you so much more time, or at least dry dust before wet dusting makes a huge difference. But I want to get in here and clean off the baseboards and different areas like that. Like I said, there's still a lot to do in here, so I just don't think about it. I've said before, like, it's easy to keep my house clean in areas that I think are pretty. And I know that can sound silly, but it is. Like, rooms that I really enjoy the way they look, it's a lot easier for me to keep them clean. And areas that I'm just like, on, it's really easy for me to neglect. My laundry room is one of those rooms that I seem to neglect, but I needed to get in here and do a really good deep cleaning. It also gets like extra dirty because it is the first room you walk in off of the garage. So if Bobby's working outside, this is where he comes in first and wipes everything down, so the door gets extra dirty. You got all the stuff on people's shoes before they take them off that gets extra dirty, just everything. So getting in here was definitely a necessity. We are going to be putting on some quarter round around these baseboards that we haven't gotten to yet, but once again, it's one of those areas that I just don't put as much effort in as the rest of the house, and I need to get better at that. But off into the kitchen to start working on in here and get this all tidied up. Cleaning my cast iron, I try to keep it really simple. I asked you guys a couple of videos back how you clean your cast irons, and most of you clean it like me, where try not to use too much soap and stuff on it. I'm the same way. If there's soap that happens to come on it, I use it, but I try and keep it off of my cast irons as much as possible, just to maintain the seasoning on it and everything. And I know you can re-season your cast irons. And I have definitely done that before, but I do try to avoid that. But I wanted to give the sink a good scrub out. I try and do like a thorough scrub out at least once a week, and that means using like my barkeeper's friend and stuff like that. On a daily basis, I'll just use soap and water and do a quick little wipe down, but I definitely think the barkeeper's friend just gives it a really nice thorough cleaning because you have that little bit more of abrasion. But really, any cream cleanser, you could use just even a little bit of baking soda with your dish soap, and that would do the same thing. And as long as you stay on top of it, I feel like it never gets too bad. Also, if you have not tried the Scrub Mommy, I 100% recommend trying the Scrub Mommy. I don't even buy Scrub Daddies anymore because basically the Mommy is that with a sponge all in one. Plus, I really like that it's white and not all those crazy colors, and I know that is silly, but to me, it definitely does make a huge difference. Now, when I do clean my cast iron, I will do one of two things. Either I put it on the stove and let it dry with the heat, or I'll do what you see me doing now and just quickly dry it off and put it away. Just kind of depends on how much time I had. And then I actually had my Walmart delivery show up. I ordered some organizers from, I'm losing what it is. What is it? The Home Edit? Is that what it is? Because now that I've done a lot of decluttering this year and gone through stuff, this is when I like to start organizing, is after doing a big declutter. I think it's really important to declutter first before buying organizers and doing all of that. So that is what I did, but I'm not going to use these in this video. I had enough other things on my plate this day that I ended up just putting this in the cabinets in the dining room, and I will be using those in an upcoming video because my bathroom and a couple other drawer areas of the house I want to get more organized. One of them being the kids' bathroom. I want their drawers to be more organized. And then possibly figuring out a little bit better system for my junk drawer and a couple drawers in the kitchen. I always say decluttering and organizing is not a one and done thing. It is something that you're going to constantly be changing depending on your life, because I know for me, I just got rid of all my plastic dishes. The kids are old enough and I've gotten to where I just trust them enough that I didn't want to deal with glass and plastic and all that. So I got rid of all my plastic, which means I've got more room in my drawers than I used to in my kitchen. So I'm going to be doing some reorganizing coming up very, very soon. But just on these counters, I'm using my thieves cleaner and wiping everything down. And then because there was a burnt spot on that stove, I just sprayed that one burner with some oven cleaner. I pretty much only ever have to do that one burner because it's the main burner that I use. And then I needed to get and clean the lower cabinets. The lower cabinets by my sink and by the island always get so dirty. I don't know how things are always getting like dripped onto them, but they're always filthy. So I wanted to go in and get all of those a really good cleaning. And then I like to lift up my chairs. I know I always, for people that are new here and don't follow me, I'm always getting questions about lifting up my chairs onto the counters. But I like to do that even if I don't plan on mopping and vacuuming. Even if it's just the robot vacuum, I like to do that to get it all the way out of the way and do a thorough cleaning. I always figure I can wipe down my island one more time when I'm done. It just makes my life easier. I don't know. I know a lot of people think it's silly, but my mom always did it that way. I'm sure my grandma always did it that way, and it's how I do it whenever I clean. Pretty much every day my chairs are on my counter because in my house, vacuuming and floor cleaning is a daily basis. Between 3 kids, animals, whatnot, these floors are always dirty.
And it doesn't even matter to me where I go. I just feel I need to take a ride. Got my coffee cup to go, and I'm gonna hit the road tonight. Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I
And then after I was all done in the kitchen, this is the track to my sliding glass door. So lots of dirt and dog hair and just stuff that gets caught in these tracks. It's really easy to forget about cleaning them. And today was definitely the day that I wanted to go in and give it a really, really good cleaning, especially because when I start noticing that my doors don't want to slide as easy, it's definitely a good indicator that they're getting really, really dirty. So just going in and vacuuming out all the big stuff first. And then once again, I'm going in with that Zep wall cleaner. Like I said, don't sleep on this stuff. It is so good. It works on pretty much everything. I've used it on tough spots on my floors, my walls, as you saw, my laundry, all of it. It works so good. And then just the scrub brush to loosen everything up pretty much gets it completely clean. If there's areas that get really bad, like I've really neglected it, I'll pull up my steam cleaner. But I try not to do that on a regular basis because it's great at getting in crevices that may be harder to get with any other tool. But one thing about steam cleaners you have to know is that steam comes out with such pressure that it does shoot everything out of those cracks, but everything that shoots out has to go somewhere. So it can be messy as well. So if I can get in here with just my scrub brush and my basic stuff, I try to do that without having to pull out the steamer. However, coming up really soon, I'm going to have to pull it out to get the side of my stove because there's definitely some dirt and grime that I have not been able to get at nearly as easy, and I know that thing will shoot it out. Also, little cracks around my fridge and stuff I noticed today that I definitely need to pull that thing out and give everything a really thorough deep cleaning with it. And here you have little Miss Freya, my little sidekick with her one leg up, one leg down sweatpants. It has been chilly here in Florida, which I know it's been way worse up north, Midwest area. My family has definitely been telling me how miserable it's been up there. But for here, it's been chilly too. And I know definitely heat and cold is very relative to what your body is used to. So I actually had to just go out and buy Freya more sweatpants because she loves wearing princess dresses. Absolutely loves it. And it's been a fight to get her to wear pants. But she really likes this Cocoa Melon one. And then she got ones from Christmas that had a unicorn top. She loves those. But she doesn't want to wear anything else. So I went and got more sweatpants for her today that honestly will probably end up going under her princess dresses, but I figure as long as she's warm, that is all that matters because she is definitely my little Florida girl. She gets cold a lot easier than any of us, and I think it's because even though obviously she's lived in Florida as long as we have, she's a lot younger, so she's actually lived down here longer than she lived in Wisconsin because she was so young when we moved. That she gets cold so much easier, but she will like put up with being cold just to wear her princess dresses.
Wearing the t-shirt you left, but it no longer smells like you do. I can stand to feel this way. My body's screaming out your name. I didn't want to say goodbye to you, but you're gone.
If you are a coffee junkie like I am, I highly recommend this espresso machine. We have had it now for over a year, and I love it. Bobby and I used to do Starbucks every single day. And we ended up, after making this little coffee bar area, buying this espresso machine. And it's not the cheapest espresso machine, but it's also not the most expensive. And it's definitely more on the cheaper end. There were a couple that we looked at that were way fancy. But if you guys know anything about espresso machines, the good ones are $600. Insane. I think this one was $150 when we bought it. So like I said, it's not cheap. I'm not going to say it's a $50 machine. But compared to the average cost, it was a lot cheaper. And this thing works great. Now, I mainly use it to make iced coffee because that's how Bobby and I like to drink it. But we have done it a couple of times where we've made hot coffee and used the steamer to steam the milk. And that worked out great too. So I love this thing. Like I said, we use it every day, usually at least once a day. And once a day meaning one for Bobby, one for myself. But often, Bobby will have 2 coffees in a day. He is more of a coffee drinker than I am. Highly, highly recommend if you are into Starbucks like I was, an addiction, investing in one of these. Honestly, they pay for themselves pretty quickly if you are someone that's going on a daily basis. But going into these cabinets, I noticed the other day when I was putting stuff away that all these glass shelves were just getting dusty and whatnot. Oh yeah, my short self. I needed my kid's step stool. So I wanted to take everything out and give it a really, really good cleaning. I haven't done this. I don't think I've done this since putting this little area together. So we did that, a year ago now? Or coming up on a year? Actually take it out and clean it all. So it was in desperate need. But once again, it's something I don't usually think about. It's behind doors, whatnot. but the dust was getting to me. So I want to take everything out, wipe down all the glass shelves, and just give everything a really, really thorough deep cleaning.
I'm delighted 'cause I got you. I have always been afraid of changes, but you show me life is full of faces. Sometimes clouds got in our favorite places, but we were young and unaware. Oh, I got you, there's no reason to chasing payment on my own, 'cause you're here to stay every night and day. I'm delighted 'cause I got you. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I'm just fine 'cause I got you.
So people are always asking where I got these different cups from. So the ones that I'm taking out right now with the floral, those are actually a gift from, oh, I don't even remember now, one of Bobby's aunts or uncles, way back when we got married. I know that sounds horrible, but we're coming up on 14 years this July, so it's been a long time. The ones in the middle, the kids use for hot cocoa, those we got from Temu. And then our glass cups that we use for our iced coffee, I got those from Amazon. All of them, absolutely love them. This side, though, a lot of this stuff is more decorative. We do use the Moscow Mule glasses sometimes, but not on the regular. And then, obviously, we use the wine glasses. But everything else in here is more just decorative, family, like heirloom type things or things with meaning. Different steins that Bobby got from family, or one of them I know is a military mug that he got from something, I don't know. But I like to keep these cabinets like useful but also pretty. That's why we put the glass doors on. If I wanted them to be more like just storage, I would have gone with full panel doors. But since it is not a panel door, I like to make sure that everything in here looks really nice. This cake plate, though, I actually got that from Target. It's part of the Magnolia collection, and I love it. I love the look of it. I put it in here when I'm not using it, but I love when I do have like little cakes or breads or something to put on it and bring it out, because I think it is so pretty and just classic. Unfortunately, it doesn't have that like hole on the bottom to do that little trick of turning it into a punch bowl. But yes, this cake plate right here, I love this one.
I'll follow you, yeah. I'll follow you, yeah. Could you come a little closer now? 'Cause I don't wanna slow this down. My heart is screaming out your name.
Also, when it comes to cleaning glass in my house, a lot of you guys already know this, but the Spray Away, absolute favorite glass cleaner, and I use a 2-cloth method. So I always will wipe with one cloth and then come in with a glass polishing cloth that's dry to polish it clean. That's how I make sure it's streak-free. Any lingering dust that may be on there, or dog hair, you guys know if you have dogs that it ends up everywhere, and it can be a pain to take apart or get off of whatever it's on. The glass polishing one always does a awesome job with getting rid of the rest of it. But now I wanted to go in and give everything a good mopping. I got this mop. It's now been a couple weeks since I talked about it last, and I love this mop. I actually do still have my spin mop because I don't know, I have not been able to pull the trigger of getting rid of my O-Cedar. But when it comes to grabbing for mops, this is the one I grab for on the regular. I've actually tried it also on the walls and even cleaning the glass sliding door, just because it's nice, because I don't have to reach as far with this one. And it works so well. If you haven't heard me talk about this one is different because it separates the clean and dirty, which I know the newer O-Seeders do, but where the clean water comes out of actually has a scrubber on it. So it completely scrubs your mop head clean before using it again. Love the concept of this. It works, like I said, so well. The mop is nice and wet, but not so wet that it's taking forever for your floors to dry. I don't know. Definitely been impressed with this one. I got influenced by TikTok to buy this, and I am very, very happy with it. Honestly, a lot of the stuff that I have been influenced off of TikTok, now it's not a ton. I do try to control myself. But the few things that I have been influenced to buy, I have been really, really happy with.
Trying to figure you out, I just wanna make you smile. Hold your hand in my hand, looking at the sunset. Man, you're looking good tonight. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, it's making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel.
So I'm excited because we have a bunch of exciting stuff coming up soon. You guys saw, obviously we did the 4th bedroom makeover. Absolutely obsessed with the way that turned out. Hopefully within the next week or so, I'm going to be updating the room that Bjorn's in right now. I have some ideas. The ideas honestly weren't that hard. Both boys love the way that Xander's room turned out. That I'm going a lot of off of that. But yeah, we're going to have some fun with that. Freya's room is going to be getting a revamp coming up. I don't know when, probably within the next couple months or something. I don't have any set times. But when I first did Freya's room, she didn't really have a bunch of likes and dislikes. She didn't really talk to be able to vocalize what she wanted. So I went with that more whimsical underwater theme. But she has definitely come into her personality, being 3 now. And she really wants a princess bedroom. So I'm trying to figure out what I can do for a princess bedroom. The fun thing is when I was growing up, I had a Princess Disney theme bedroom also, and my mom made a bunch of Disney character pieces, so like Cinderella in her carriage, Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, and things like that, for my bedroom and my sister's bedroom. We shared a bedroom for many, many years. So my mom still has some of them. Not all of them. Some of them broke over the years, but she still has some of them. And I'm excited to get those from her because she's asked me multiple times if I wanted them. And I'm like, well, I don't really have anywhere to put them. So she's just been holding on to them. But I'm excited that now I'm actually going to have somewhere to use them in Freya's room. And it'll go with the theme that she really wanted us to use. So, but I am in, this is where Bjorn sleeps, Bjorn's room. And I'm just giving it a quick tidy up. You guys know me. My kids are supposed to take care of their own rooms. But once a week, once every other week, I like to come in and give everything a really good wipe down and then clean up stuff off the floor. And either I will hand vacuum and mop, or I just send the robot vacuum in here to clean it up. Kind of depends on how dirty it is. On this day, I was just getting everything set up so that the robot vacuum could come in. Between all the other stuff I was going and getting done, I was honestly getting tired at this point. But I knew there was a couple other areas in the house that I really wanted to focus on. And I also wanted to get the kids' rooms done before the boys got home from school. That's usually my goal, is work on it when they're not around. That way I'm not bugging them when they do get home about everything going on. And I think it's a fun little surprise. Like I said, my kids are expected to clean up their own rooms, make their beds, pick up their toys, check for dishes and garbage, whatnot. Now, is it perfect? No, but when I ask them to do it, they do it. But I feel like there's something special about when you get home from school and you can walk into your room and it's just clean. make even a bad day at school turn good.
Right in my heart, we're going away. Get your bag, check the tag. Decision is made. Lock your door, need no more. It's already paid. Cancel your mail for a while. It's a journey for life, and I'm your ride. Hang on.
So one thing I am doing when we get back to doing Bjorn's room refresh makeover is I'm actually going to have Bobby put the closet doors back up. However, I'm trying to figure out if I want to reface them. Currently, they are the slatted bifold doors, and I despise the slatted ones, mainly for cleaning purposes. A big part of my cleaning thing is making your life easier. So things like blinds and slatted doors, I'm not a fan of, but that is what came with the house. But I've seen some really cool things people have done to change that up that I think I might try and see if I can make it more of a normal door and not the slatted ones. Here in Freya's room, I didn't have too much to do. She is really good at when I tell her to put her clothes away, she brings them in and puts it in this basket by her mirror, which is fine. As long as she's trying to keep her room clean, I try to give chores that are age appropriate and have age appropriate expectations when I ask them to do something. So obviously, how Freya cleans her room compared to how Xander, 11, cleans his room is going to be very, very different. So I was just going in and actually putting away her clothes. And then once again, I wanted to make it that the vacuum could come in here and do a good cleaning. And then I did notice that her dresser was very dusty. Even though her dresser is white, I have to say this seems to hide dust better than most furniture in my house. And unless I'm like getting really up close and personal with it, I don't even notice how dirty it is sometimes. But it was definitely in a need of some really good wipe downs.
In the way I see your smile, there's a warm and welcome feeling for a while. In the beginning of our life, holding out.
So I made a mistake here at this step, and I've said it before how you're supposed to do it, and I did not do it correctly. But this would have made my life so much easier to clean this vent if I would have dry dusted it and then sprayed it and wet dusted it. But I did not. I did not feel like going and grabbing either the vacuum or the Swifter. It was me being lazy, and I doubled my amount of work. So don't be like me. If you are cleaning vents, especially vents, I usually recommend grabbing a vacuum and vacuuming it first. But even if you just have a Swiffer, that would make life so much easier. Like I said, I did not. And then it's like nitpicky to actually get all the dust off once it's wet. It makes it so much harder. So definitely something to keep in mind.
Everybody else are fading out.
Now off into Xander's room. His room honestly didn't need too much work going on. He'd already made his bed before school. So I did straighten it up more to how I would make the bed. But he did a good job. He made his bed before school. And then I wanted to dust everything off. So pretty simple. His room is a lot easier to go through just because he is 11. So he just maintains it a lot better than the other two kids. But even for him, I like to come in here and give it a really good cleaning. Plus, like I said, I wanted the vacuum to come in here and clean all the kids' rooms. So by me going into each room, when I was done, I was then able to send the vacuum in to vacuum and mop. And I was able to get all of this done before I got the boys from school, which was my main goal, was to get all of this done before I had to pick them up. But I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope it motivated you to get some stuff done in your house. Or maybe you just were relaxing watching this video. Whatever it was, I hope you got what you were looking for. If you're new here, though, I would love if you would subscribe. Join us. This is the best community here on YouTube. And everyone's here just to lift each other up, give inspiration, and really have each other's backs. So if you're new, definitely subscribe. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
You gotta let it fly. Do you ever feel
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Also, if you are new, welcome. Today we are doing a crazy amount of decluttering, pretty much tackling different areas of my entire home that need some decluttering and organization done. I'm also going to give you some of the best tips and tricks for decluttering, how to declutter quickly, how to get the motivation to declutter, where to start when decluttering, just everything you need to know in this new year if you are looking to create a more peaceful and easier to maintain home.
another way? There must be conscience. Different things in different ways. There must be love. There must be a reason, and a little bit of faith has got to come my way. I was just a little girl.
All right, so all of these tips are going to work for you if you are just getting started and you are completely overwhelmed because your house is bursting at the seams with stuff, or if you are at a point of you're maintaining, you've been decluttering for a while, but we all know it is not a one and done thing. This is something that you have to keep up with and keep going because stuff accumulates. It's, I feel like, natural for all of us that there's always stuff coming in, or your phase of life changes. So something you may have used last year, you may not be using at all this year and have no need for this year. So here's what I want you to do. Grab a pen and paper because a lot of these tips you're going to want to write down. And some of these tips I'm going to ask you to do something to get you ready to go. So first things first, and like I said, this doesn't matter if you are just getting started or you're looking to maintain, but I want you to take a piece of paper and inventory every single room of your house. So master bedroom, first bedroom, second bedroom, third bedroom, how many ever bedrooms you have, kitchen, family room, dining room, living room, whatever rooms you have. Bathroom 1, 2, 3, doesn't matter the size, but I want you to write down every single room in your house. And now you are going to figure out what works best for you when it comes to a schedule. Once again, this may vary. You may be a working mom or a stay-at-home mom or elderly with health conditions. Whatever your situation, this may look differently. So if you want to say, I'm going to tackle one room a week till my entire house is decluttered, make that a goal. Or if you need to give yourself an entire month to tackle a room, that is totally okay. But going room by room is very important so you're not getting overwhelmed by the amount of work that needs to be done. And being able to break this up makes it so much easier. It also allows you to see the progress. So when you start in an area, if you find that you have something that belongs in a different room, I want you to go just put it in that other room and not worry about it. Put it in that room and get back to what you were doing in the first room. The only time this is going to change is if it belongs in a room that you have already decluttered. Then I want you to put that item in its home so that you're not reverting back to where you were before. But otherwise, if it goes in a room that you have not touched yet, just let it be, put it in that room, and keep working in your one area.
I've been dreaming so much lately about your face when you're smiling. It's the only thing that saves me. Hey, I don't know if I told you that I think think you're beautiful, and oh, I can't wait to hold you.
All right, and now we are going to break it down even further for you guys. So this is for if you're just getting started and you are really, really overwhelmed. Then I want you to break down the rooms even smaller. So if you have a bedroom, maybe just tackle your nightstands today, and then your closet the next day, or half of your closet, because we all know some of our closets are the size of a bedroom. That might have to be considered a whole room on its own, depending on your house. But break it down even more so that you're not overwhelming yourself. And that's why I said give yourself a week to even a month, depending on your situation, to tackle one room at a time. One big thing to remember is you didn't get into this cluttered mess overnight. You're not getting out of the cluttered mess overnight. And that's okay, because in the end, if you don't declutter, you're going to be spending that time cleaning up the clutter. So either way, this time is spent. It's just trying to decide if you want the mental clarity of having a decluttered space, an easier to maintain space, and spending that time now to declutter, over deciding that you're just going to spend that time later cleaning.
You're my ticket to paradise. Hey, now everything's alright. We've been longing for each other, and it feels like I'm on cloud.
I also say this all the time, decluttering is like a muscle and it gets easier with time. If you don't have it as perfect as you want it to be the first time, do not stress out, because it does get easier. It gets so much easier to let go, and it actually becomes like therapy, a free therapy when you declutter, because the amount of mental clarity and stress relief you get when you do these projects is amazing. Now, if you're in the kitchen, one big thing I can say to declutter are those pans that came in a set that you never use. So me, I love my cast iron pan, but I really only use my big cast iron pan and my griddle cast iron. That little cast iron pan, I never touch. So I am getting rid of it, which I have had a really hard time with. It came in a set. Cast iron is amazing, but I came to realize I don't use it, so I don't need it. And someone is going to find this at the thrift store and be absolutely thrilled that they had it. Now, when you are starting in a space, we're going to break it down to, one, help with motivation, because you're going to see the progress faster, but two, also just make it easier to go through. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to grab a garbage bag, and you are going to go through that room and pick up any trash, receipts, random bags, just anything that's garbage. Anything that is garbage, get that out first before moving on. After you have gone and done all the garbage, I want you to go around and get rid of anything that takes you less than 3 seconds to decide needs to go. So these are your things that are like instant, obvious, yes, I don't need this anymore. Don't, if you're like hemming and hawing, just put it to the side for now. Just the things that you touch and you know instantly, like, yes, I don't need this anymore. I can declutter it. It's got to go.
Walking home late at night, maybe 2:30. A little drunk, but I'm alright, 'cause I've been hanging with you, and it feels like love. Tell me if I'm wrong.
All right, so we have gotten rid of the trash, and we have done our first quick, easy sweep of the space to get rid of anything that's obvious, get rid of. Now we are going to break it down a little bit more. And for this, I want you to grab either a bin or a garbage bag, whatever it may be. But I want you to take a little bit more time, and I want you to have a keep pile. I want you to have your donate pile or trash, depending on what you're looking at. And then I want you to have a maybe pile. And that's what you're going to put in a not see-through bin or garbage bag, because sometimes the hardest part is just at what if. What ifs are the worst. I can't get rid of this because what if? So we're going to put it in either a bin, a box, a black garbage bag. And if you have not gone through that bin, bag, or box in 6 months, 3 months, give yourself what you feel is comfortable time frame, but don't make it too long. I recommend no more than 6 months. Then just get rid of it. Do not open it again. Just get rid of it, because if you haven't looked at it in 6 months, you probably don't need it.
Crazy, a little crazy for you. A little crazy for you.
Another big thing to keep in mind, especially if you're someone that's like, oh, I want to sell it on Mercari, or I want to do a garage sale or something like that, is I want you to think about what these items are truly worth and what you can truly get for them. Because often we have in this mind, like, I'm going to hold on to this because I want to sell it. And honestly, we hold on to it and we never get around to posting it on Facebook or Mercari or having that garage sale, and it still just sits and it's still just clutter in our house. So I want you to give yourself a price range, and this is going to vary from family to family. For me, it's usually anything under like $20. I just get rid of instantly. Like, it's one of those things of, if I really need to repurchase it, it's not the end of the world if I have to go spend $20. But like I said, this could vary. For you, it may be $5. The other big thing to keep in mind is all of this can be a tax write-off. When you go to Goodwill or the Salvation Army or any of those places, you get a tax form and you write it off. A lot of people don't do this because we look for instant gratification. So garage sales, you get cash in your pocket, but often it's not nearly as much as you would be able to write it off for on your taxes as a donation receipt. So yes, you may not get the instant gratification, but I have gotten to where we don't sell anything. We donate everything, and at the end of the year, we save all of our tax forms. And even to this day, usually it's a couple $1,000s worth of things that we donate every single year, because every little box here or there that we throw in really adds up. It may not seem much at first, but it does add up over time. All right, now we were talking about money, so I'm going to talk about that a little bit more, because another big holdup I know a lot of people have is, well, I've spent this much on this and I don't want to give it away because I spent $50, $100, $200. But here's the honest truth. You've already lost that money, and it is not worth punishing yourself even more by holding on to something and letting it take up space that you could be using for something that is more efficient in your life. So don't let it hold you back. That money is already gone, and you deserve to have your space over the things in it. Also, if people have gifted you something, or maybe you gifted it to your kids, you're actually going to see a little bit later on in this video that I get rid of one of Freya's dollhouses that we got her for her birthday this year. Now, it was just a garage sale find. We love our little thrifty garage sale finds when we are looking around, but she doesn't play with it. We got her two, one big one, one little one, and she didn't play with the little one. So we are getting rid of it. She's going to be able to play and have so much more fun in her room without that playhouse taking up space, where I could be like, oh, but we just got it for her. We spent this money on it. And instead of allowing her that space in her room to really enjoy what she has and what she uses, holding on to it just because of that idea of, well, we spent the money, so we can't get rid of it. So don't let that hold you back. Don't let the idea of it was a gift from someone hold you back. There are very few people in this world that would say, well, I don't care if it's causing you stress and anxiety. I bought you that as a gift, so don't get rid of it. And if that is someone in your family, well, that is their problem and not yours. So I'm giving you permission to not listen to them and get rid of it. Most people that get you gifts get that gratification when you open it and you see it and you appreciate it in the moment. After that, they don't really care anymore, and they would much rather see you happy, especially if it came from loved ones, friends, family, anyone like that.
Reaching for the dream keeps me alive. 'Cause it's keeping me alive.
So one rule that I love, I heard a while back, was the 90-90 rule. And this one is awesome if you are really having a hard time deciding, but it is looking at an item and thinking, have you used it in the last 90 days? And are you going to use it in the next 90 days? If both of those answers are no, that is your A-OK to donate it and get rid of it. Also, this is our 4th bedroom. You guys often do not see this bedroom, but if you follow us on our family vlog channel, we are actually finally getting into this room, and we are going to be doing a makeover on it. Hopefully you'll see that next week. We'll see if our time frame adds up. But we are making over this room and finally getting it in order. It needs everything. We haven't touched it. As you can see on the wall, that wall we had put in to have our pantry done. So it is just drywall with texture on it. So it needs baseboards. It needs painting. We're doing some custom built-ins. There's just a ton going on in here, which meant I had to go through and declutter everything out of this room.
It's been stuck inside my mind. You can't ask me to surrender.
Now, another thing to keep in mind is you don't have to do a huge, crazy purge on your house to declutter it. So many people feel like, oh, well, I'm only getting rid of a little bit and it's not good enough, so you don't go for it. But it doesn't take mountains and piles of decluttering for you to declutter. A little bit here and a little bit there is still progress. I always say it's about progress, not perfection, because if you focus on perfection, rarely will you get anything done. None of us in this world are perfect. You guys see me cleaning, decluttering, organizing on a regular basis. And here you can see I still have a ton of stuff that I just don't need. Things that I have either collected recently that ended up not using, or things that I have not decluttered in the past, but as I've been decluttering, I did I'm not sure, maybe I'll use it. So I held on to it. So this time around, I'm decluttering it and getting rid of it. So don't feel like you have to do a giant purge. Like I said in the beginning, your house did not get cluttered in a day. You're not going to declutter it in a day. So give yourself a realistic time frame. Remember, social media and Instagram is a lie. Everyone has a Monica closet, and we all just need to work towards making things better, not making things perfect.
I'm not heading for the stars, driving down the boulevard at night.
Now, I have said this before also, but I'm going to say it again here, especially you may be new to my channel and you're just looking for these tips and tricks to get your home decluttered. But big one, if you are waiting for spring cleaning, stop. It can be so overwhelming to try and do this just in the spring or just in the new year. It is so much easier to do little bits at a time all year round than one big spring cleaning purge or New Year's purge. So break it up. Do little bits here, little bits there. And that goes back to the beginning when I said, let's take an inventory of your house and figure out what rooms you have and break it up and give yourself realistic time limits, because it's really easy if you give yourself these time limits and then don't hit those time limits that you're now like feeling guilty because you didn't get everything done that you wanted to get done, when realistically you didn't give yourself a realistic time frame. This stuff takes time, and it's not all going to happen in one go. Here you can see I'm getting rid of a lot of hair tools that I have held on to for a while because I spent money on them, and it's like, well, what if I have that special event? Well, let's be honest. All of my friends are married with kids already. Like, the likelihood of me going to a wedding anytime soon is very unlikely because all of the people I know are married, so I don't need all these crazy fancy hair tools. Now, I still keep some because every once in a while I like to do my hair and makeup, even if it's not on a regular basis, but I don't need all of this because I honestly couldn't tell you the last time I used it. I'm also doing that with my makeup. I love makeup. Like, I don't love doing my makeup all the time. You guys know me, like 99.9% of the time, I just have maybe a tinted moisturizer on and mascara, but there's even days I don't have that. But I like having my palettes because you never know. Christmas comes around, something comes around, and I still enjoy doing my makeup in those times. However, today was the day that I decided I'm just going to take like 3 of my favorite palettes. I had one like eyeshadow palette that I really liked, and then a bronzer blush palette. I think I ended up keeping 3, and the rest I got rid of. Like, most of them I didn't even open because I'm like, it's not necessary for me to even open these because a lot of these are duplicates, and I grab for the same colors on a regular basis. I like those warm browns, bronzy type colors, so those were the palettes I kept. And then same with these lipsticks. I absolutely loved these, like, oh, what are they called? I cannot think of them, but they're like stay on all day type lipsticks. And I loved them, but I didn't use them ever. So I kept a couple of the glosses that I enjoyed using, mainly chapsticks, and I got rid of the rest.
We were young and we were free and running.
Now, if you've been doing this for a while and you feel yourself getting discouraged, I highly recommend taking before and after photos. It's really easy to not notice how much progress you've made because you're in the midst of it. Like, you're doing it and you're watching the slow transformation that you don't even see how far you've come. It's kind of like weight loss photos. You can be losing weight for months and you just don't see it until one day you look back at a photo and you're like, wow, this is amazing. That can be the same with decluttering and cleaning out a space. So if you take those before pictures and those after pictures, it's a great way to keep you motivated and keep you on track to reaching your goals. Now, talking about goals, that is another really big thing, is figure out what your goal is, because your goal may not be to be a minimalist. I know my goal isn't to be a minimalist, but it is to make cleaning easier, quicker, faster. When you've got kids and animals and all of these things, it can be overwhelming to do all of this. So my goal has always been, what's going to make my life easier? That's what I'm looking for. I did a couple videos back, a power hour, showing how I could clean my entire house in 1 hour. And that's huge because sometimes I only have an hour to get things done in my house. So I need to be able to do things quickly, efficiently. I also know that I get really stressed out and overwhelmed and usually not in the greatest of moods when my house is a complete disaster.
Pouring like a waterfall. I cried a million tears and more to find out where I belong.
All right, so this one might throw you guys through a little bit of a loop. We are talking about decluttering, and now I'm going to talk about retail therapy. But just like when you are starting off the new year wanting to work out, so you get those really cute workout clothes to get you motivated to go to the gym, I'm going to recommend the same thing with decluttering. However, I do not want you to purchase those things. But look on Pinterest, get really cute, fun ideas of how you can organize a space once it's decluttered. Make yourself a vision board, and then go to Amazon and start making a wish list. These are things that can help motivate you to declutter your space, but I highly, highly, highly recommend not buying anything until you have gone through the decluttering process, because then you're going to have a lot of time either returning things or holding on to organization items because, well, you might use them in a different area. But still having those vision boards and that wish list is going to help get you excited and motivated to declutter those spaces, like your pantry or your refrigerator or your linen closet, all those different areas around your home.
And I still got you in my head from all those pretty words you said. It's like I'm wasted. Every time I see your face, I'm losing track of time and space. I don't know where I am. It's like I'm wasted, and I won't waste it. And I promise that I will stand by you forever.
Now, sometimes when you're decluttering, you need second eyes on your project. And this is when I recommend calling family, calling friends, and asking for help. It makes a huge difference. Even if they're not physically helping you, they're just there kind of rooting you on, talking with you, helping you think through things as you're trying to decide. It will make life a lot easier during this decluttering process if you have a friend along with you. Otherwise, make sure you have some upbeat music to get you going, a really good audiobook, or whatever it is to help keep you going as you're working through it. And sometimes as simple as a different mind trick of telling yourself, oh, this is great. I get to declutter the linen closet today and listen to my favorite podcast. Kind of trick yourself like, I get to enjoy my podcast while I do this. Making it into a positive, often that little mind trick is all you need.
And I won't waste it. I'll follow you, yeah.
Now, I know at this point, listening to all these tips and tricks, there's a really good chance that you might be thinking about oh, it's so much easier said than done. And I want to tell you, you are 100% right. The hardest part, though, is just getting started. So if you decide to tackle one little task today, if it is your nightstands or your junk drawer or something like that, just know you have tackled the hardest part of decluttering, because the hardest part is always just getting started. Now, if you have kids like I do, I have 3 of them. Xander here helping me strip the bed is 11. Bjorn, the one who just walked in the red, is 8. And then I was in Freya's room earlier and she is 3. But I highly, highly recommend always keeping your kids involved when it comes to decluttering. One, they're not going to feel hijacked like mom or dad just came in my room and tossed all my stuff, but also it's a really good life skill for them. So we were going through a lot of their clothes. Some of it was pretty easy. Things that don't fit do fit, but also then going through and figuring out what they just don't like anymore. It may fit them, but they never wear it. I also started making a pile. So when it comes to shirts, my boys wear the exact same size, even though different ages. So we were making piles of what Xander likes, what Bjorn likes, and then what they both like. and organizing it out that way. I was talking before about the 4th bedroom, and for now we are talking about turning it into a bedroom for Xander if he wants it. He's still on the fence. He really likes sharing a bedroom with his brother. I know I often get questions why my kids share a bedroom even though we have a 4th bedroom, and it's always been their preference. But even if he doesn't take it, we also might be having Bobby's grandmother moving in with us. So no matter what, we're turning that bedroom into either Xander's bedroom or a guest bedroom.
Come a little closer. I wanna dance with you. Everything's moving slower. I don't know what it is you do. I've been looking at you all night, trying to figure you out. I just wanna make you smile. Hold your hand in my hand, looking at the sunset. Man, you're looking good tonight. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel.
Now, what shouldn't you do when decluttering? Don't start decluttering without a plan, and everyone's plan is going to look different for them. If you work outside of the house, set aside decluttering times. Not, oh, I'll get to this when I'll get to it, but give yourself a time like, I'm going to work on this small project this weekend. Also, with that plan, give yourself goals. Give yourself a reason to keep going, because I can guarantee in this process, most likely at least once, you are going to start feeling regret that you even started it because, oh my goodness, this is looking worse than before, because often it gets worse before it gets better. But if you have those goals in mind, this plan in mind, it makes it a lot easier to keep going. So figure out your goals, your why of why you want to declutter, and then set a game plan. What rooms you're going to declutter, on what days have you allotted time in your schedule to declutter. All of these things are going to keep you on track, keep you motivated, and make it a lot easier when you feel like giving up.
I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing.
Now, I want you guys to remember decluttering, organizing, cleaning, all of these things are marathons. They're not sprints. So don't be discouraged if your home isn't looking exactly what you were hoping it would look like in a day, a week, a month, or even a year. Because depending on where you're starting, everyone's journey looks a little bit differently. But I can promise you, as you go and your stress levels decrease and your happiness is completely elevated because you're able to get so much more done and spend more time with your family because you're not worrying about the clutter, you're going to thank yourself. And I promise it gets easier. Like I said before, decluttering is a muscle, and every time you do it, it gets a little bit easier. It definitely goes a lot faster, and it's a lot less overwhelming. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.